2014, the Philippines hosted the World Economic Forum. It showcased the gains of the country under the Aquino administration. 2015, the country will host the APEC conference, another great opportunity to enhance growing awareness for the economic miracle that has made the Philippines one of the best performing economies in Asia. Today, the first of a series of meetings from member economies of APEC started at the Clark Special Economic Zone in Pampanga. Mr. Bill Luz, co-chairperson of the National Competitiveness Council, was among the country's delegates, and he joins us tonight on the line on NewsLife. Good evening, sir. Welcome to NewsLife.
Good evening.
Sir, the Philippines hosting APEC for the second time. Now, what impact will it bring to the country in its continuing quest to sustain economic growth?
Well, to begin with, it gives us the opportunity to take to the world stage and advance some policy reforms that are good not only for the Philippines, but good for APEC and good for global business, the global economy. APEC is important because it's 40% of the world's population, but over half of global GDP, trade, and investment. So to be a part of that, of course, is extremely important for us.
So now, has the country's competitiveness improved under the Aquino administration?
Definitely. I think over the last 3 or 4 years, Philippines is the most improved country globally in competitiveness. We took the biggest improvement in World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Index. We have the biggest improvement in Transparency International's Corruption Perceptions Index. We are the most improved in the IFC World Bank Ease of Doing Business Index. And we're also the most improved country in the Economic Freedom Index of Heritage Foundation. So across 4 broad indices, we've had the biggest jumps among all countries worldwide.
Now, sir, having said that, what kind of opportunities are open in the Philippines for APEC member economies to enhance trade relations?
Well, you know, the world is trying to liberalize not only trade in goods, but trade in services. So as far as the Philippines is concerned, trade in services is a very strong suit for the Philippines. If we can promote that more, we can boost business. And if we can get embedded services in manufacturing, then we're going to be able to improve not only in services sector, but in the manufacturing sector. So we ought to take advantage of it and tell people what services we can perform for different economies, for different countries, for different companies.
So will the APEC conference boost the entry of foreign direct investments into the country?
We certainly hope so. I mean, when we're going to be hosting APEC throughout the year, the first round of meetings started on January 20th at Clark Field in Pampanga. They will conclude on February 7th. We are going to have 3 more rounds of senior officials meetings, at least 8 ministerial meetings and high-level policy dialogues. We will have the APEC Business Advisory Council. We will have the APEC CEO Summit, and then the APEC Economic Leaders Meeting, all in 1 year between January and November. That's a lot of visitors. That's a lot of awareness. That's a lot of attention from 20 other economies. So it's a great opportunity. We should take full advantage of it.
Now, sir, with the incident in Mamasapano, has this affected the confidence of foreign investors in investing in Mindanao?
I hope not, and it's something that we ought to watch very closely. It's a tragic event, and so we have to take a look at the root causes and look at the possible solutions to this problem. I think we cannot jump to conclusion too early, but neither should we take it lightly.
Now, sir, will the officials meeting in Clark, how will this build up the participation of the business sector from APEC member economies?
Well, one of the hallmarks, I think, or innovations for the Philippine year in hosting is we agreed with the government that we should increase the interaction between private sector and the government in APEC meetings. In the past, APEC meetings were primarily just among government officials talking to each other from the different economies. If we take a look at a lot of the meetings this year, the private sector has been invited to attend a number of the meetings. Personally, I've attended the special senior finance officials meeting in January 21st in Clark. And then just earlier this week, February 3rd, I was at the Public-Private Dialogue on Services, where easily more than half the audience came from the private sector, which is kind of unusual for a meeting at this stage of APEC. So I think we're going to see more and more private sector people coming from all over the APEC community, the 21 or the 20 other countries, 20 other economies. And this is going to be good for attracting potential foreign direct investors. At the very least, it builds up awareness about what's happening in the country.
So will these kinds of meetings continue, and what kind of preparations are being made for the APEC leaders meeting come November?
Well, the leaders meeting is important. 2 days, 21 presidents and prime ministers from across APEC. Preparations are moving moving, I think, well ahead of schedule. We've got the APEC CEO Summit also ready to run. At the same time, we'll have 700 to 750 CEOs present in the Philippines. APEC Business Advisory Council also runs in November. So I think it's going to be a great opportunity for the country to market itself, and to tell people who are not so familiar with the Philippines what's been happening here.
Is there a final word from you?
Well, I think that it's a great, as I said, opportunity for all of us, not only in the business community, I think, but generally citizens. One thing to remember is that the APEC meetings take place all over the country. 10 different locations. They're going to be in Tagaytay, Clark right now, Tagaytay in March, in Bagak, Bataan. Some meetings taking place in Subic, Boracay, Iloilo, Bacolod, Cebu, Legazpi. So a great opportunity for delegates to see the country, but it's a great opportunity as well for people all over the country to welcome delegates and to tell them what a great place, what a great community they have. So I think we should take full advantage of this chance to welcome people, not to Manila, but all over the country.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much for joining us here tonight at NewsLife. That was Mr. Guillermo co-chairperson of the National Competitiveness Council.